I'm Jason, your host, and I'm here with my co-host, Julia.
Hi, Jason. Hi, everyone. It's great to be here with you all.
Today, we're talking about a really interesting topic: how to turn your weaknesses into strengths. We all have weaknesses, right, Julia?
Absolutely, Jason. No one is perfect, and everyone has something they wish they could improve. But here's the good news. Those weaknesses can actually become our strengths.
Exactly. So today, we're going to explore why recognizing weaknesses is important, how we can learn from them, and ways to turn them into strengths. Let's start by talking about why it's so important to be aware of our weaknesses. Julia, what do you think?
I think knowing our weaknesses is the first step to improving ourselves. If we don't know what we're not good at, we can't make changes, right?
That's so true. Being aware of our weaknesses helps us understand ourselves better. It's like finding out what's holding us back. And when we know that, we can start working on it.
Yes. For example, let's say you're not confident when speaking in public. Instead of ignoring it, you can face it and practice. Over time, you can become a better speaker.
Great example. And that brings us to the next point: learning from our weaknesses. Julia, do you think there's something we can learn from our weaknesses?
Definitely, Jason. Weaknesses can be powerful teachers. They show us where we need to grow. And sometimes, they reveal skills we didn't even know we had.
Absolutely. Weaknesses give us a chance to grow. For example, if someone is not very organized, they can start learning small habits like making a to-do list every day. Little by little, they'll improve and develop a new skill.
That's a great point, Jason. And it's all about taking small steps. Changing a weakness into a strength doesn't happen overnight. It takes time and effort.
Exactly! And sometimes we need to change our perspective too. Weaknesses don't mean failure. They're simply areas where we can improve. And that's empowering, isn't it?
It really is. Let's think of weaknesses as opportunities, not obstacles. This positive mindset can really help us turn those weaknesses around.
I love that. Seeing weaknesses as opportunities can make a big difference. So, Julia, let's give some practical tips for our listeners. What's one way to start working on a weakness?
One good way is to focus on one weakness at a time. Trying to fix everything all at once can be overwhelming. Start small. Maybe choose one thing to improve each month.
Great tip. And once you choose a weakness to work on, set realistic goals. Don't expect to be perfect right away. Start with small, achievable steps.
Yes, and be patient with yourself. Change takes time, so it's important to be kind and keep going, even if you don't see big changes right away.
Absolutely. Another helpful tip is to ask for feedback. Sometimes, others can see our strengths and weaknesses more clearly than we can. Getting feedback can help us understand where we need to improve.
That's true. And remember, feedback isn't criticism. It's a tool to help us grow. Be open to it and use it to make positive changes.
I love that, Julia. Feedback is a gift if we're willing to learn from it. Now, what about turning weaknesses into strengths? Do you have any ideas on how to do that?
Yes. One way to turn a weakness into a strength is to practice consistently. For example, if you're shy, try speaking up a little more each day. Over time, that shyness can turn into confidence.
That's such a great point. Consistent practice makes a big difference. And don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone. That's where real growth happens.
Exactly. Also, sometimes a weakness can become a strength when you find the right environment. Maybe you're not great at math, but you're creative with ideas. In a creative field, that weakness isn't a problem at all.
So true. We all have different skills, and sometimes a weakness in one area is a strength in another. It's all about finding the right fit for our talents.
Right. And one more tip is to celebrate progress. Even small improvements deserve recognition. This keeps us motivated to keep working on our weaknesses.
I agree, Julia. Celebrating small wins keeps us going and reminds us that we're moving forward. Turning weaknesses into strengths is a journey, and every step matters.
Absolutely. And remember, listeners, don't let weaknesses hold you back. With time, effort, and the right mindset, you can turn them into strengths.
That's right. Weaknesses are just areas for growth, and every step you take toward improvement makes you stronger. Thank you, Julia, for all the great tips and insights today. Before we go, let's quickly review the key points from today's episode. First, remember that recognizing your weaknesses is the first step to turning them into strengths.
Yes, and once you know your weaknesses, learn from them. Weaknesses can be great teachers, showing us where we need to improve and grow.
Absolutely. Then it's important to set small, realistic goals for improvement. Start with one weakness at a time and take it slow.
And don't forget to ask for feedback. Others can give us valuable insights that we may not see ourselves. Plus, feedback helps us stay on track.
Right. Also, consistent practice is essential. When you work on a weakness regularly, it can turn into a strength over time. Practice makes a big difference.
Definitely. And sometimes, a weakness might not even be a real problem. It could just be that you haven't found the right environment for your skills. So try to find where your unique abilities fit best.
Great point, Julia. And last but not least, always celebrate your progress, even if it's small. Acknowledging each step forward keeps you motivated and positive.
Exactly. Remember, growth is a journey, and every small step counts. Turning a weakness into a strength takes time, but it's always worth it.
Well said, Julia. And, listeners, don't be discouraged if it takes time. Be patient with yourself. Personal growth is a lifelong journey, and every step you take brings you closer to your goals.
That's right, Jason. Each of us has strengths and weaknesses, but what matters is how we approach them. With the right mindset, any weakness can be transformed into a strength.
Absolutely! Thanks again for tuning in to today's episode of Personal Growth Talks podcast. We hope you found these tips helpful and inspiring.
And remember, we believe in you. No matter where you're starting from, you can make positive changes and grow. Just take it one step at a time.
We're so glad to have you with us on this journey. If you enjoyed today's episode, please leave a comment and let us know what you'd like us to talk about next.
Yes, we'd love to hear from you. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. We have many more personal growth topics coming up just for you.
That's right. Until next time, keep working on turning those weaknesses into strengths. You're doing great, and we're here to support you.
Thank you, Jason. And thank you, listeners, for joining us on this journey of personal growth.
Yes, thank you, everyone. If you found this episode helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. And remember, every challenge is a chance to grow. We'll see you next time.
You seem stuck. What's the trouble?
Conditionals. My brain hurts.
Tricky but useful. Which part?
All of them, I mix them up.
Let's go one by one. First conditional.
A future.
Yes, a real possibility. Example.
If I study, I will pass.
Perfect. Real cause and effect. Now, second conditional.
That's the imaginary one.
Exactly. Unreal present or future. Try it.
If I studied, I would pass.
Yes, meaning.
I'm not studying, so I might fail.
Righty hypothetical. Now, the third.
The hardest one passed, right?
Correct. Something that didn't happen. Example.
If I had studied, I would have passed.
Perfect. What does it mean?
I didn't study. I failed. Regret?
Yes, often used for regrets.
This is a lot.
It gets easier with practice.
Hope so. My test is tomorrow.
Then let's practice more.